Hey y'all, I'm Jesse.
I'm Jordan, and we're the Bowen family.
I was initially approached by Redcon because I posted a video of Brody and I doing a workout, a squat workout, and Darielle was super awesome, and she wrote me and asked if I had ever tried Redcon, and she was super sweet and sent me a package full of supplements, and I tried it out and was instantly hooked and instantly loved everything she said.
Little known fact about me is that I actually almost have never liked any supplement, right? So almost every protein powder I've ever tried, I can't stand, and so I was like, all right, let's see what they got. So they sent it up, and we tried it out, and honestly, it's like fantastic, so we loved it.
I was really excited because I'm lactose intolerant and I can't do whey protein, and so when she sent the MRE Lite, I took it and had zero issues, and
Yeah, it was
super
perfect.
excited.
It worked out real well.
Yeah.
And so it was actually like a product that, and even the brand and everything about the company, honestly, was just like, seemed family oriented, and the products delivered. You know, we honestly, with being Militia Fitness, we love the way that Redcon's presentation looks like. It's super cool.
It molded perfectly.
Yeah,
into
too
our
easy.
lives.
It was easy. You know, it's funny, even before we knew, it's like, man, what's Redcon? It's got to be played off of like DEFCON 1, right? So you see, and I just assumed it must have meant Ready Condition 1, right? And so as we looked at it, super neat. And then we looked at the packaging and the exact way that when we got out of the military, we had together, you know, we put together Militia Fitness as like a family come together to get the most fit as possible. And then you look at Redcon, and they're doing the exact same thing, man. It's a beautiful product. It works well together, and honestly, just the whole mantra behind it about it seems the exact same. It's a team that come together, very military-esque in the attitude, and the way they take care of the military is super neat, which is something that we do as well. And so it just
Redcon
fit.
seems like a family, and Militia Fitness is our family, so
That's right.
it molded
Yeah, man,
perfectly.
we were super stoked to be part of Redcon as a family at that point.
Jordan and I were both in the Air Force, and when we saw Redcon, it's so military. We're like, this is perfect. This is exactly like what we would want. And the products are awesome, so.
Yep, because she was an intel analyst, and then I was a pararescueman in the Air Force. And so both of us dealt a lot with tip of the spear information and action as far as actual, you know, going in from a warfighting capacity. And it's neat because Redcon is the exact same. You look at it, they're trying to, in all their products, what's really neat is they're constantly trying to run the edge of fitness as much as possible. And that's what we like to do with Militia Fitness. Redcon was like really just a last little piece that added so much more value to our own lives, and now we get to add that value to our members as well, which is super cool.
So Jordan and I met in the Air Force. We probably wouldn't have met outside of anything except for this
I'll give them that
leadership school. We met at a leadership school, and it's a great story.
Yeah, so I was an active duty pararescueman at the time, and I was getting ready to deploy to Iraq. And so we were doing some train up jumps. I was doing a night blacked out O2 jump, right? So there's no lights on the runway, nothing. We got on mask. We're at 13,000 plus feet doing a halo jump. So we jump out, and I'm coming in on final. So you do like kind of a little box, if you will, coming in on final. And as I'm coming in, I'm holding I can't see anything. You're not supposed to look at the ground because you can't see. So I'm like holding. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna crash for sure. And as I'm coming in on final, I come down and my foot gets grabbed by something, tore out sideways. I go end over end on my landing, and I'm like, oh, did I roll my ankle? And I reach down, and my ankle's sitting out sideways, and I'm like, definitely didn't roll it. So I take it and I pull it back straight. It's broke for sure. And I'm like, geez. So now all I can think is like, man, I'm gonna be missing going to Iraq. I'm gonna be missing you know, training for this. And so I was like kind of disgruntled, but it gave me an opportunity to just sit and study for my next rank. So I was sitting there, I had a couple surgeries on my leg. I was sitting there studying, and I ended up getting promoted to staff sergeant. But in order to do that, you have to go to this leadership school, airman leadership. And Jess was an intel analyst, so she worked more inside of SCIFs, and we probably never would have crossed paths in the military except for this leadership school. So because and she was supposed to go to another school as well, so she wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be there. If I hadn't broken my leg, I wouldn't have been there. If she had gone to that school, she wouldn't have been there. So we get there, we're in the same flight. I walk in, I look over, love at first sight. She's gonna be my wife. We gotta make this happen.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah, that's like, you know, like 10 minutes of knowing her.
Seriously, yeah.
You're my wife.
Pretty much.
And so, yeah, for real, we went through school. I deployed to Iraq shortly after that because I'd been healed up some, came back. We got married, we started a family, we had Slade. And then a year after having Slade, got out of the military and ran the gym ever since.
Yep. Militia Fitness started in 2009. I got out of the military in 2008 when I had my son, and my husband had one more year and then he could re-enlist. and he was gone literally 300 days out of the year. And we knew realistically, if we wanted a family, that if he stayed in, we wouldn't be together all the time. So we made a list of different options of what we wanted to do, and one of those lists was to open up a gym. And it turned out, we wrote on our whiteboard, we're gonna open up a gym, and he got out of the military in July, and we opened up Militia Fitness in the middle of July. We started at a small spot that's now a bar in our town. We started there in 2009, and we slowly have grown over the years to now we have 4 locations, 3 locally and 1 in North Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's neat. Like she said, I got home on July 4th from Afghanistan, and then July 15th we actually opened the doors to Militia Fitness. So I was still on terminal in the military, so I've had a good group of guys that allowed me to basically make a good transition process. And you know, when she talks about the list that we had like 5 options, and like the sketchiest, like we were in the middle of the recession, like the worst idea was like, let's go start a new business.
Absolutely.
And we're like, perfect, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right? So we decided to kick it in, and we actually lived inside of the gym for about 3.5 years, right? So we opened it up, and we had a small little sectioned off area. It's like less than 100 square feet where both of us and our son lived.
About
and we
the size of this room.
yeah, this actually might be luxury, the schoolroom, compared to where we were at. So we stayed inside of there, and we just made it happen. We just lived beneath our means like crazy, and we were fortunate enough to be able to have good people to come along, and we opened up a 2nd spot and worked really hard and killed it there to a 3rd spot, and we have a 4th spot up in North Carolina as well.
Yeah.
Yep. The way that Militia Fitness is set up is one thing that we realized. So we started in 2009, and we actually just ran 1 program. And so what we had is we had people come in, but the problem was not everybody's the same. And that's what we're just talking about, lifestyle, and people's goals change along the way, right? And so their goals change along the way. And so as we went from 1 program to 2 programs. We actually run 4 programs right now. And so not that, I wouldn't say that anything fits everybody, but generally whatever you're gonna do, you fall into one of these 4 programs. So the 4 programs we run at Militia Fitness is we have a fitness program, and what that kind of looks like is you come in and you're like, I just kind of want to get generally fit. I'm not trying to get crazy strong or anything. I just want to get a little bit better than I am. And then you got our sport program, which some like we have CrossFitters that do it. We have different people that do Tough Mudders that do it. A lot of these different areas. So this is like more of their sport application. Then we have a power program, which is kind of like, I want to lift weights, but I want to have a little more capacity as well, a little more wind. So they lift a little bit more with a little bit more wind. And then on the far right is our Iron Up program. So our figure competitors do that. Our strongman competitors do that. I actually do that for jiu-jitsu. I have plenty of conditioning in that. So no matter what our program is, we keep a good work capacity, and we want to constantly get strong. But no matter who you are, when you come in, everybody has a little different goal. So the first thing we do when they get to the gym is we figure out what they're looking for. And then whatever they're looking for, we help work them in a different nutrition and in a different program depending on what they're looking for. And then what's neat is even we have a subcategory. So let's say you come in and you're like, hey, I'm getting stronger, but I really like for my chest to be bigger, right? Well, we'll give them specific lag and muscles just for them, work in those areas. So they got the main program they do, and then they can do all their lag and muscle accessory work to help build up areas that are behind. So for us, it's a hybrid program. No matter which one you're doing, it's a mix between like a bodybuilding, a conditioning, and a strength training. We mix all those together so that way you look like an athlete, you have the conditioning of an athlete, and you have the strength of an athlete. Yep.
The way we implement fitness into our family is number 1, we keep it fun. So we know for us, having fun is going to be consistent. We're going to be consistently working out if we're having fun and we're enjoying it. And so the biggest thing for our kiddos is we keep it fun, and we have them create workouts, we create workouts, we keep them short, we keep them sweet, and now it's a daily thing that they do, and so they love working out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, at the gym, like our 3 core values are community, never quit, and have fun. And so like community is your big version, but down on the nuclear is just family, right? So family sticks together, has a great time together, and the have fun is super important. And then from a value standpoint, if you never quit in fitness, you're only gonna get better, right? So you're constantly, if you just remember that no matter what, not every day is perfect, I'm just gonna continue to have fun with it, and you never quit, you can only get better.
So Fort Walton Beach, because he was born in Fort Walton Beach, and I was born in Illinois in the middle of cornfields, and I never want to go back. And the minute I came to this beach, I'm like, we cannot leave here. We have got to figure something out to where we can stay in this area, because
and we were both stationed here, so this was our last duty station.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I went to high school here, went off to training, got stationed back here at the 23rd Special Tactics Squadron, and she was at the 25th Intel, how do you say it? Intel, yeah, it's been a minute. Intel Squadron, yep.
Yeah.
And so then we met at the school, we finished out here, and then we got out here because we wanted to stay here. We have family here.
Our family's here, my mom's moved down.
Yeah, we recruited everybody from Illinois.
Everybody's down here now.
All you Illinois people, it's okay.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be cold ourselves.
It's so cold. I've been homeschooling for 2 years now. This is my second year. And the reason we decided to homeschool was a couple of reasons. One, we travel a lot, and so we wanted to let our kids experience all the places that we're going to. We went to the Arnold the last 2 years. We've gone to multiple spots for competitions, and we knew how much fun we had, and so we thought, you know, our kids are young, let's take them with us. And I've always wanted to be a teacher, so it's super fun that I can really instill our values into our kids because we're with them all the time. They get to see how we help people at the gym, and they get to see how we run our daily lives. First being in school for 8 hours, coming home, and then having just a couple hours that we can be with them. Now they can be with us every day and really experience what we can experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, homeschooling, we know that for a lot of families it can be difficult because of the exact lifestyle they got, but with us being the entrepreneurs we are, we're able to take them with us. And it's neat because the questions that they ask rolling with us are like such adult learned questions as well. So like, hey, you know, like he asked me about taxes and stuff. I'm like, oh, well, come on, let me show you how this works, you know what I mean? And so we teach them through a ton of different stuff that we feel like just otherwise we wouldn't be able to expose them to.
Absolutely.
So we cover all the bases of school, and then we feel like we get to teach a lot of values that are near and dear to us as well. And we feel like as our responsibility that, you know, when both of them leave, that we want them to have as much as our value set as possible. And so many different good men and women shape both of us, you know what I mean, throughout post leaving the house. We want to try to give them their best head start with that as possible going out to the world. So Slade reminds me so much of myself as a young guy, right? So if I didn't have Jess, we wouldn't probably have any bills getting paid, right? So like I'm constantly, I got the next vision, what we're gonna do next, what we're gonna do, and then I completely forget all the other stuff. And that's Slade in a nutshell, that his mind is constantly working and he's got new possibilities, thinking about new things. He's a dreamer that puts it to action just the same. And so like homeschooling him is perfect because we get to be able to continue to press, and instead of him going like, hey, what about this? And us having to shut it down, we get to go, well, let's go party over there in that thought for a little bit. And so for him with fitness, and he loves jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu is, there's never a match that's the same way. So it fits really well with his personality just the same, which is the same reason I like it as well. Ton of fun, and if there's one thing that both of our kids know, Slade definitely knows, and Constance teaches this to his sister, it's that never quit mentality. That no matter what you're gonna do, everything's gonna have trials, and as long as you don't give up, eventually you're gonna prevail, right, at everything. And even if you don't win that day, you're gonna get better. There's a better version of you waiting on the other side and not giving up, and that's definitely Slade in a nutshell.
Absolutely. Brody, we call her the Savage Patch Kid because she's savage. She's fierce, she's determined. She's unlike any other 5-year-old I've ever met. She will work out and give her best every day, all day. It doesn't matter if it's 5:30 in the morning or 10 p.m. at night. She is constantly on the go and a little activator. Like, she will lead the way and she will get it done. And she's so awesome because I love hanging out with her. She motivates me. She motivates me to work out and to push hard and to, like Jordon said, never quit.
Yeah, absolutely.